All right, we're at week 4. Oh, Lord, keep me from evil. Many are they who say of me, there is no help for him in God. But you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory, and the one who lifts up my head. That's Psalms 3, 2, and 3. All right, day 22. Don't even go there. Do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Matthew 6 and 13. Wow, I remember that. My grandma used to say that all the time. That's part of our prayer. When you take territory for God, you are taking it from someone else. You are fighting against sin in yourself, in the world, and in the spiritual realm. If you've never experienced true opposition before, you will now. That's why Jabaz's plea to be kept from evil is so necessary and even revolutionary. Have you noticed that this is part of Jabaz's prayer, parallels the prayer that Jesus taught his disciples? When the disciples asked, Lord, teach us to pray, Luke 11 and 1, Jesus gave his friends a model prayer. One of his 3 requests had to do with temptation. The other 2 were for provisions of forgiveness. He said, when you pray, say, do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For this, we learned that the most important strategy for beating temptation is to avoid it altogether. In the coming week, we're going to look at some important ways we can strive to live a sin-free life. But Jabaz will remind us today that the first tactic is also the best. Stay out of the contest. Don't even go near. Does the simple truth of this advice shock you? It should. It runs against our prideful, risk-loving reflexes. We like to play with danger, to have options, and to take trouble head on, believing we can always pack one more power than the opponents. But with temptation, these instincts gets us in trouble. Why? First temptation pits you against your own sin, nature, and all the powers of evil. That combination can lead you to sin. And God doesn't want you to sin. Sin weakens you and compromises your ability to receive God's favor and power. Second, if you were never tempted, you would never sin. Why would you? That's why Satan initiated his deceptive encounter in the garden. He was creating what the Bible calls an occasion to sin. We need to stay away from the occasion whenever possible. As someone has said, he who would not eat forbidden fruit must stay away from the forbidden tree. Makes sense. Therefore, when your first line of defense is to pray, keep me from evil, compared to keep me from sinning, you made a huge leap toward victory. If you think I'm splitting meanings like hairs, you need to talk to someone who has overcome drunkenness. They'll tell you that having decided not to drink, to stay out of bars, out of liquor stores, and away from drinking friends, they don't keep alcohol in the house. They don't put happy hour in their day anymore as an option on their schedule. They have simply chosen in advance to lose some pleasures in order to gain others, infinitely more valuable ones. One day, an acquaintance confided to me that he was struggling with pornography. Some time ago, he said, he had started pulling into an adult video store on his way home from work. Now it had become a habit. Is there another route you can take to get home? I asked. By the look on his face, I could tell he'd never considered that option. He thought for a while and then continued. But when I get home, I watch trashy shows on HBO after my wife is asleep. Do you really want to quit? I asked, he said. Yes. Then cancel your HBO subscription. Oh, I don't know if I can do that, he explained. Well, I replied, at least when you're ready, you'll know exactly what to do so you'll never have to fall into that sin again. A few weeks later, he called me to say he was driving a different way home. His HBO subscription was history, and that he was enjoying sleeping next to his wife in peace. It's a refreshing thought, isn't it, that you and I can ask God to help us avoid evil. Like a father near a rapids who warns his child, honey, don't even go out on those rocks. God is watching out for you. If you ask him, he'll tell you where not to go. Your part is to pray for protection from evil today, to thank him for his care, and to obey. My Jabez journal. When have I sinned? When have I sensed the Spirit warning me away from an arena of a temptation? What happened? I'll write the quote. Watch and pray. Lest you enter into temptation, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Matthew 26:41. Better shun the bait than struggle in the snare. John Dryden. All right. And our Jabez prayer. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. So God granted him what he requested. Amen.